Good evening, Musket enjoyers. I have been right, 'cause it's time for the predictions video. Yes, just a few hours ago, all of these skins rotated into Rustor, and basically in this video, we're going to go ahead and try and figure out which of these skins potentially might be the best investment for this week, which of these skins might help us walk away with some sweet, delicious looking profit. So sit back, relax. I'm going to start yapping. Right, big mood change compared to the previous week's videos for predictions. Guys, I'm feeling confident for once. Yep, I know in the previous videos I was like, they're all going to go down in price, I'm just going to do a barter instead. No. For this video, surprise, surprise, I'm actually confident in two weapon skins. So, sit back, relax, I'm going to explain myself. What skin am I looking at that I think, you know what, that's looking to be a very nice investment? I'm looking at the Quarantine Sap. I'm looking at the Quarantine Sap and I'm thinking, it's probably, at worst, maybe to go down in price a fair bit, but I think it's going to be very reliable. I think it's going to be very stable. I don't imagine it's going to go up in price insanely, but I think it's going to be probably the most secure thing you could look at, especially if you have multiple accounts. Now I'll explain why in a bit. Right, Quarantine Sap. Let's just get this point across. The first positive. Quarantine weapons, over the past few years, they've been performing quite weirdly. As you can see, all the weapons except the AK, well, that's perfectly in the positive. That's perfectly in the positive. That's very perfectly in the positive. Cool. Now, recently, we've been getting quite a lot of Quarantine skins being accepted again, and, well, notably the Thompson. Now, that's perfectly fine at the moment, but let's just kind of remind ourselves of Thompsons so far, because, like, over the past 2 years, Thompsons have had a bit of a turn. They used to be very reliable investments and whatnot, but unfortunately, as we've been getting a lot more of them, and with the changes to the aim cone, not as reliable as they used to be. So when this was finally accepted, I looked at all the other skins at that point in the year, and the vast majority of them were in the negative, except the MK Ultra, but that's kind of special in its own way. Anyway, I wasn't very confident in this. I just did a lowball buy order, and I've been proven wrong. That's worked out perfectly fine. Now you might question whether it's the design of the infection spreading across the weapon and whatnot. I mean, it does look cool. Venom. But anyway, people seem to like it. People seem to appreciate it, and we have to acknowledge that. So that turned out to be one of the Thompsons that actually ended up in the positive. Quite a bit of a surprise. Anyway, back over to here. So we acknowledge that people do seem to like this on skins for weapons. Now we're looking at the Sap. What about Sap skins in general? What are they like? Reliable. Very reliable. Look at this. All the Sap skins that came out this year, pretty much every single one of them is in the positive. Okay, Bombshell Sap came out somewhat recently. It's only down by 6%. There's only 31 listings. Ronin Sap came out literally a month ago. It's now evens, perfectly fine, only 19 listings. That's a-okay. We also have the likes of the Blackout Sap. Now, I still believe in the long term, that's still going to be perfectly fine by next summer. That's where I think it'll truly start to rise up in price. It's had a lot of listings on the Steam market, and yet it still sits at around $3. Reliable, stable. So, if I were to just quickly scroll down and take a look at some of the skins we've seen in the past 3 years, the vast majority of them in the positive. All these Sap skins have been appreciating the summer ever so nicely. Now, some of the not so good looking ones, only down by 6 and 7 and 13%. That's not too bad. So, when I look at the likes of this skin here, yes, you could probably just stick with doing like a buy order, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you managed to pick up at least a decent amount. But honestly, I'm looking at this and thinking, I might be buying some. So, knowing that it's stable and reliable, if you were to do a direct purchase, please acknowledge this. You might have multiple accounts, like me, where you can see I have 8 of them. Now, recently, last night, with my abnormal barders, I've completely exhausted an account. Basically, I've put up as much money as I can on the account, which is up to £1,700, or equal to $2,000. You're only allowed to have that amount of money on your Steam wallet. That's it. You can't have any more, unless you have pending, which kind of gives you more, but let's not talk about that. Anyway, I also did the absolute maximum amount of buy orders that I could do as well, which is 10 times the amount of money you have in your account. I can't do anything with this account anymore. I can't put any more money on it. I can't sell anything. I can't do any more buy orders. But what I can still do is direct purchases. So I could go to the restaurant. I could buy 100 of these, wait out a little bit, you know. I could trade those over to another account, sell them on the other account, and I feel very confident that I could sell them and get at least my money back, you know, evens, or make profit. Do you see what you did there? You moved Steam Wallet from one account to another. Ooh, and I've done that many times in the past, just pointing it out. So, I see potentially something I might be buying 100 of. I'm not joking, I'm looking at that as a very reliable option. Now, there's only one problem with it, it's not abnormal. We can't look at this next Wednesday and sit there and assume, well, I could do an abnormal buy order. No, you can't. It's not abnormal. You have to wait until the Rustor rotates next week, and then you can do buy orders. So literally on Wednesday night, we'll have to look at how much have sold, and we'll have to question if we're actually going to jump in and buy some. And look, listen, If this doesn't match up to about 10,000 subscribers, which at the moment very likely could happen because this is not exactly the best-selling skin so far, I think I will be jumping in pretty hard. I think I will be buying a decent amount of them, knowing the reliability. So I've been investing into the likes of sap skins for, quite a decent amount of time now, and I've seen how well it tends to work out. So I had a whole bunch of these redemption saps, these chameleon saps, bought them on barter and whatnot. Easy flips this past summer, even the sap nana, easy profit. Now, yeah, they don't tend to have that many listings on the Steam market and whatnot, but if you sell reasonably every day, maybe up to about 5 a day, you're walking away with profits. Sensibility and, of course, being a bit patient can be very, very rewarding. That is expected to be very stable, reliable. That is what I'm assuming will be the best thing to consider. If you're forced to buy something and make sure you're definitely making a profit, I feel like the quarantine sap's probably going to be the best option. Okay? That's my answer for what I'm most confident in. Cool, right, so what else is there to yap about? What is also looking to be reasonably interesting? So the next thing I'm reasonably confident in is the Abyssar. So, the Abyss collection. Let's just get this across. The Abyssar, well, you're part of a pretty well in-demand collection. Over the past, 2 or 3 years, this collection has worked out ever so nicely. It's still in demand. We even recently had a double door. That just went up in price very nicely. Okay, cool. But more specifically, let's look at the AK. Right? When I look at all the AK-47 skins that have come out over the past 2 years, you might notice a bit of a pattern here. The vast majority of them are in the negative. Only 1, 2 that have been out for a reasonable amount of time that are holding up quite well. And if I look at last year, well, as you can see, Abyss AR is right there, and then we also have the likes of the Kiss AR. Right, cool. So we just probably looked at about 100 AK-47s, only 4 of them are in the positive, with one of them being the Abyss AR. So you can understand it's reasonably special. But with the likes of SARS, well, it's pretty much the same thing. Look at this. Whilst we don't get as many SARS accepted, the behaviour, very similar. Quite literally. Look at all of that. Oh. Now, you've got to remember this. The Abyss AK-47 did dip down in price initially for quite a reasonable amount of time, but then eventually as time went on, well, as you can see, it's sitting here at $4. Sold for $3 in the Rust store, now it's sitting here at $4 with some very reliable barders. But look at the sales history, and initially it was doing pretty bad. When it went through a bad time, which was very quickly, right there, it went down to about $1.90. Rose up a fair bit, went back down during the likes of the Easter dip. Yes, it went all the way down to about $2.20, but it rose back up for the likes of the summer. It's been doing ever so nicely ever since then. Please be aware that we are steering towards the likes of October time. Kids are going to go back to school. Less people will be playing the game. Less demand for skins. Lower skin prices. Yes, the Abyss skins are likely going to suffer, along with all the other Rust skins that are, in the game and whatnot. So please acknowledge that. It definitely feels like we're going to probably want to prefer to stick with a smart buy order. And yes, the Abyssar is abnormal. It's selling at $3. But if you're looking at this thinking, well, if I buy a bunch now and wait until next summer, would I be able to make a profit? I think you will. So, if you just want to jump in and buy some, by all means. But if you're going to be smart with your money, hey, around October time, maybe it does drop down to around $2. Maybe a little bit higher still, but you get the idea. You could still pick it up for a cheaper price. But that looks really good in game. I know a lot of people are going to greatly appreciate it. I can't help but assume the skin creators are going to be producing a lot more weapon skins soon. It's looking to be another reliable option. But I do believe it will drop down a bit more compared to the likes of the quarantine sap. But at the very least, it is abnormal, right? And I can't help but assume it's not selling too much. If it sells as much as the AK, which is only about 13,000 subscribers, yes, that SAR very likely would be a perfectly fine thing to consider even buying. So, it's up to you what you do with your money, but I'm feeling confident. Right, so we just went through 2 weapon skins. What is looking to be pretty interesting now? I will sit here and say we're getting to that point now, it's getting a bit 50-50. So by default, I have to sit here and say the Neanderthal Tier 3. Okay, so by default, guys, we're now anticipating rubbing our hands for the likes of Tier 2 armor and hoodie and pants. But you might recall we've been saying that quite a lot recently because it's weird. We keep seeing Tier 3 armor. We've seen the likes of Royal Safari, Black Diamond, Commando, all somewhat recently. So they're all potentially competing with each other for a Tier 2 or hoodie and pants set. Or boots and gloves, we shall see. Anyway, Zinc is very reliable. I will fully believe we'll be seeing the hoodie and pants in Tier 2 eventually. But the skin creator, he is also making other collections. Most notably, he's the guy behind the likes of the Ice High collection. So maybe he'll take a bit of a break, do an Ice High skin again this weekend, and then we'll see what happens after that. But you get the idea. reliably, I can't help but assume we will be seeing some more, core pieces. And of course, if we were to see Hoodie and Pants or Tier 2 being accepted, by default, I will expect the Spike Command, Spike and Price. But at $2 a piece, will that hold up well? Would it even sell that much? With the most recent Neanderthal skins that were accepted, that being the poncho and the bandana, they only did about 6,000 subscribers at best. So maybe it doesn't sell too much. Maybe we still get those core pieces being accepted. And I've got to sit here and say, look, it's got a very cool looking design to it. I think a lot of people, as time goes on, will appreciate at least the face mask with its two huge fangs. Fangs in sizes, canines, you get the idea. Saber-toothed cat. Tiger. Sorry. So yeah, I think that will work out right. But more specifically, if we do get those continuations being produced. And the only way we can keep informed with the likes of that is to keep an eye on the workshop. Cool. So with that, 50-50, we'll see how it turns out. I very likely will still stick with doing a Barda. Both of them are abnormal, so we've got to wait it out. We'll talk about that on Wednesday night. I will be streaming. Consider looking in the description to see the links to all my socials. I will be streaming next Wednesday at night, 9 o'clock in the evening UK time, and we'll be sitting here discussing prices to offer all of these skins. Cool. Right, so now we're in the territory of, I do lean more towards the likelihood that these skins will be going below their rust or price. But again, a smart builder can still lead to some success, and I'm going to look at the likes of the Ultramarine Large Box. So, the Ultramarine Deplorable Collection is starting to pick up. We've got 2 skins accepted so far. Cool. Just want to point this out. Ultramarine Garage Door, when this is accepted, the skin creator put this out as soon as possible, literally just this past weekend. Yes, all the skins that you see here, except the likes of that double barrel shotgun, they're all early picks. So at the very least, I would sit here and say, please consider watching my Rust Workshop skin checks to keep informed of all the newest skins that have been submitted over the past weekend. I always add chapters for my for all the collection continuations that appear. So if something catches your eye, just click it, skip ahead, and get a good look at it. You get the idea. So anyway, with the likes of that, I'm not going to be surprised if Mr. Jiba, the skin creator, goes ahead and produces another deplorable skin very quickly over the course of this upcoming weekend. What will it be? Who knows? Maybe a small box, a furnace, maybe a sheet metal door, who knows? But more deplorables I feel very confident in. Alright, cool. So, with the arrival of this today, did we see that garage door have a bit of a, spike in price? Yes. It's been bought out constantly over the past few hours, and it keeps ending up on the front page. It is now sitting here at $4.50. Yep, it has had a wonderful start. But this has happened many times in the past. If you happen to own any of these, I would recommend you consider selling them. Get that profit whilst you can, because regardless, as time goes on, it will slowly go down. October time, most skins are expected to suffer. So, yeah, grab that profit whilst you can. Anyway, will we see consistency, and will we see skins actually been accepted from Face Punch? Well, it's Face Punch that I'm worried about. But I do believe Jiba, the skin creator, will be putting out some very interesting ultramarine skins. So let's just wait and see. If we do get those continuations, by default, I would expect a bit of a bump, a nice spike in demand, spike in price. How much will this sell, though? That's something I want to find out. If it sells ridiculously, like the garage door, which did about 30,000 subscribers, okay, maybe I'd think a little bit different, because large wood boxes, they're a bit awkward. They're a bit 50-50, as you can see. Now, it doesn't help that we keep getting Twitch drops constantly given to us. So if that keeps happening, yeah, it's going to still be questionable. But at the very least, this is abnormal. We can wait until next Wednesday, see how many sales have happened, then make questions and figure out, oh, well, maybe we'll offer this amount or that amount. You get the idea. So we can wait at least. So that's cool. Right, next skin I'm going to think about talking about is the Neon Core Garage Door. Okay, cool. So we did, in fact, get a continuation of the up and the down garage door that was accepted about 2 weeks ago. And yes, both of these did spike in one, spike in price a fair bit. But please remember this. When we had the likes of the fuel storage, the fuel small box, when that was accepted, when we got the likes of the food storage afterwards, that spiked in demand, spiked in price. And then it eventually went back down again. When we had the full kit locker, when we got the hazmat locker being accepted afterwards, this spiked in demand, spiked in price. But it has slowly started to go down as well. More specifically, we're going to talk about the likes of the food storage and the hazmat locker. When these were marketable, loads of people tried to dump them on the Steam market. There was a lot of listings for that and for that. And they suffered pretty quickly. Yes, this is down by 3% at the moment. It might not be much, but look at it October time, it will probably get a lot worse. Anyway, this was the first small box to suffer. This was the first locker to suffer. This came out after these. I can't help but assume we're going to see the exact same behaviour from this and this. It's more of a case of how people have been treating the Neon collection. There's a lot of people just looking at these skins and thinking, yep, easy profit, buy, instant throw on the Steam market, instant dumping, and yeah, when there's far too many people that are bought with the pure intent to sell, it leads to problems. That Neon Core Garage Door, I worry for it. But yeah, potentially on the horizon. Could there still be more? Yeah, there was more produced. So, previously there was the loot room garage door, and we have the exit garage door. I'm not sure what's going on, but we got a batch of lockers accepted. I'm sure we'll very likely potentially see a batch of garage doors being accepted. Duck keeps producing it, we shall see, but yeah, there will be more garage doors. And I did say that literally last week when I was looking at the likes of the Ultramarine garage door. Whilst it's got a lot of attention right now, will it always keep the attention when more appear? And yes, there will be more. It's inevitable. There will be more Twitch drops. There will be more skins accepted in Rust doors. Let's just hope it's more neon garage doors. Okay, cool. So with the likes of that, I very likely will just stick with doing a bar dart. I fully expect it to go below its Rust door price. How low will it go? I can't figure that out yet. Let's wait until Wednesday. See how many sales have happened, then consider what to do. Alright, okay, looking at the remaining skins, what am I going to say now? Well, the AK, it's an AK. It's a $3 AK. And when you look at all the other AKs that have been accepted in the past year, that sold at higher prices, like $3.49 and whatnot, take for example, the likes of the Royal Safari AR, $3.49, now it sells for $1.15. The Cell AR, $3.49, 94 cents. I'll scroll all the way down over to here. We can see the likes of the El Diablo AR, $3.49, $1. Now, right now, there are two very interesting looking Twitch drops being given away for free. Falcon AR and Tora 1005's AK-47. Very lovely white, pearlescent white with some very luscious looking gold trim. And then over to here, the absolutely awesome looking design of the feathers with the bird on this AK. Both of them very nice in their own ways. This right here, I've got to give them some credit. Sunup produced a very cool looking AK-47. But it's $3, and I worry because there will be more AKs being accepted. There will be more AKs given away. I'm not sure if that can keep attention, alright? You know, these AKs that we've seen in the past year, many of them have looked very nice when they first came out and whatnot, then they suffer, alright? So looking at the state of that, it's selling quite nicely, so don't assume there's going to be hardly any that's sold. I can't help but assume it will be going below its Rust door price. I mean, it's inevitable, I'm very sorry to say. So, I like the skin, it looks cool, but if you're looking at it as an investment, if you're looking at the financial perspective, yeah, iffy. But again, by all means, if you like it, buy it, use it, enjoy it, support that skin creator, keep them nice and motivated to keep wanting to put out nice creative designs in the future. You know the deal. Right, and then lastly, we have the Hellborn Crossbow. It's a glow-in-the-dark crossbow. Very sorry to say. Much like with the bow skin from the previous week. Well, take a look at that. You know what? Let's just go take a look at that bow skin. It's only been marketable for a while. It's already down by 25%. It's inevitable. So here we are. The first crossbow skin to be accepted this year. Yeah, that took me by surprise. But the vast majority of the ones that came out, yeah, they haven't been doing super great. It's a bit unfortunate. I'm questioning it. It's glow in the dark. You don't want to be seen at night time. That's going to make you seen at night time. That's not good. I can't help but assume, yeah, it might sell reasonably. But yeah, I don't think people want to hold on to it. I don't think people will be actively chasing after it. Sorry, yeah, I don't think it's going to hold up very well. Yeah, so that very likely will be going down to probably $1. Will not be surprised. There's only one other glow-in-the-dark crossbow, that being the crossbow from Hell. Now that's part of a well-established, well-known collection, so it's doing reasonably okay, but it's still down by 17% after 2 years. And it only did 14,500 sales, or subscribers. So, yeah, I don't expect nice things for this, I'm afraid. Yeah, maybe it does spawn into a brand new collection. Okay, I look forward to it. I happily, look forward to it. Because with the design of the eyes here and whatnot, it looks cool, but I still worry for it, I'm afraid. So, that's why I'm not confident in it. That's why I'm probably not going to offer too much for it. It's abnormal at the very least, but, yeah. Then we got Double Barrel Baguette. I'm leaving this for last because I'm not really sure what to think of it. I don't feel super not confident in it, but it's more of a case of we've already had this. What do you mean? Well, if I were to just quickly point out all the double barrel shotguns we've had somewhat recently, or at least within the past year, do you not remember Crowley's double barrel shotgun, which is exactly the same? Please consider watching my Rust rotation video where I do a quick comparison between the both of them. But yeah, that is also another double barrel baguette, and it was given away for free. So that's a little bit awkward. Wouldn't you just want to keep that one and spare yourself from spending $2? I don't want to sound mean. I know the skin creator here. He's done a very good job with Twitch drops recently and whatnot. But, and then again, the Baguette collection. It could get a lot more sillier. There could be a lot more bread-related skins. But that double barrel, I'm questioning it. I'm not surprised it's not selling too much because, again, wouldn't you just use the Twitch drop? Yeah. Double barrel shotgun skins in general, well, this is the second one to be accepted so far this year, but even the Thunder Gold one went down in price. Ooh, Now, yeah, quite a lot of them are on the negative. I'm definitely leaning more towards the likelihood it will be going below its rust price. Yeah. It's awkward, but I'm still surprised it was accepted. Not to sound mean. Again, we'd literally had a Twitch drop. It's literally the same thing. Oh well, it is what it is. So, lots of question marks there. It could still potentially work out quite right because it maybe doesn't sell too much and the Baguette collection gets a lot more skins accepted. I still lean more towards no. So, alright, that was it. That was all the skins there. I'm sorry it was a bit negative still, but I'm sure you understand my answers. Right. So let's just quickly go through the details. Yes, right now we are currently seeing the August Twitch drops taking place. For the next 10 days, you can go grab 14 brand new skins. Get a good look at all of these streamers here. Now remember, to get these skins, you have to specifically watch each streamer here for 2 hours. Make sure your Twitch account is connected to a Steam account and you can collect. Just to remind you, for the generic drops, Twitch changed something somewhat recently. You have to watch someone who is streaming Rust on Twitch, but not one of these 9 people, unless you've already received their skin, alright? Does that make sense? So, if you want to just, like, focus getting these from anyone else, you can do that. Just make sure they have the drops enabled. Simple as that. Cool. Right. Is there anything else that needs to be addressed? Well, I should just quickly point this out. We potentially might be getting complete the set soon. Pretty soon, as in potentially next month in September. So, if you want to get a good idea, start rubbing your hands in anticipation for what potentially might be a candidate, please consider looking in the description right now. You'll see the link to my Complete the Sets candidates. It's not official, but it's a very good, showcase of what could be picked. Look at all of these skins as a representative of their collection. Glacial Visage, Shadowborn, Porcelain, Blocky, Dungeon, Fireflies, plenty of skins right there. I'm going to flick through them very quickly. Don't look at these skins individually as the option. Look at them as the representative, because if you actually click them and then click to see their collection list, there's a lot more skins. So yeah, they're all notable skins that came out in the past but were never accepted. And yeah, there's a lot of very interesting clothing and armor options, which you're probably wondering, I really would like to see that being accepted. Now yeah, get a good look at all of that, get nice and motivated for what potentially might come out, and then you'll feel super depressed when Facepunch doesn't accept them. Yay! So yeah, it's not only just complete the sets, it's also most wanted. Most wanted. I think Facepunch will just pick ones they want. Alright, cool. So keep an eye on the commits. It's currently hack week, but we're now looking towards the likes of September, and there's a lot of interesting things on the horizon. Redtown Redux, the Wrecked Boy, the dive sites. There's plenty more stuff potentially on the horizon. But yeah, we won't fully know what's definitely coming out unless you keep an eye on the commits. So keep an eye on this. At the moment, as I said, lots of Hack Week details. Everyone at Facepunch is just working on silly ideas that they have in their heads. They have the freedom to do so for a week, and potentially, eventually, maybe it might actually be incorporated into the game. So yeah, we'll see. And that is that. That is everything. One final extra little detail. I guess I could bring this up. So just last week, the Charitable Rust 2024 Twitch Drops contest ended. These skins that you see here could potentially be winners, and for October, they could be your Twitch drops. So I'll link this in the description as well. Get a good look at all of these. These skins, about 5 or 6 of them, I reckon, will be chosen as winners, and they'll be given away as Twitch drops in October. I believe halfway through October. At the very least, I know Charitable Rust is taking place on October 12th. Alright, sounds good. Cool. So, yeah, that's something to look forward to as well. Very nice. I've kept you all informed. I don't know what's going on in September, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be Twitch drops for that as well. Twitch drops for every single month for the remaining of this year. Cool. Catch you later. Best of luck with you and your investments. Thumbs up. All good. Bye.